back here with another video. Now, although I have my YouTube War with the Attic Nerd currently set up here, we have a different thing to show off today. A month or so ago, a Axis and Allies YouTuber by the name of the Plastic Commando did a giveaway in which he gave away to a whole bunch of commenters some custom painted pieces that he did up from the World War I, interwar to early World War II era. I was lucky enough to be one of those people, and I want to show off some of the hard work he has put into his painting. We have an array of different pieces here, so we are going to get right into it. First up here we have an Italian carrier. It is called the Sparviero. I'm most likely not going to pronounce the majority of these correctly. Sparviero, as you can see down in the hole right there. Did a little research on each of the different pieces just to find out their eras and what kind of areas they were used in. I believe Sparviero translates to sparrowhawk in English from Italian. It was an Italian aircraft carrier. It was built during World War II and was originally the ocean liner Hms Argus and was converted in 1942. The ship was never fully delivered to the Italian Navy and was scrapped in 1946 and ended in 1952 with the scrapping. So this is definitely a piece I could use interwar or World War II. As you can see, the ocean liner kind of gives you those vibes there. This is a piece from Historical Board Gaming that the Plastic Commando had painted up wonderfully. Nice weathering on it. I like, all the different grooves. Have it in there. Got a little bit of paint. Definitely gives me some ocean liner vibes. Let's size it up to a regular Italian carrier from Global 40. So this is a regular Italian carrier. As you can see, Historical Board Gaming and the Plastic Commando have definitely done a significantly better job in terms of the detail. Decal looks nicely put on there. I like how it's got a little, I don't want to say chip, but looks a little weathered there. It kind of makes it look a little bit more battle hardened. So I like that aspect of it. And then let's just put an Italian fighter on just for scale. Italian fighter fits on there quite well. This was the Italian aircraft carrier Sparviero from Historical Board Gaming. Next up, we will be talking about the Hms Olympic. Speaking of ocean liners, we have the Hms Olympic. It was a sister ship of the Titanic, one of the three sisters there, and was commissioned as a hospital ship. But I think this could easily be used as a troop transport or a troop carrier. Again, detail is wonderful, really brought out by an excellent paint job. Decal is placed on there quite nicely. Rate you guys all the different angles of it here. The lifeboats you can see on it as well. Will it focus there? Let's try to get a focus. There we go. just like a lot of HBG ships. Olympic. Again, for scale, a British battleship. This transport, in comparison to a regular British transport, I'm thinking in terms of house rules, could be used. Special unit that's bought to transport 3 units instead of 1. Probably would be very useful transporting through Canada, putting it here, transporting your ships. 1, 2, 3. Docking them in London to provide Canadian troops. And we'll just do an overhead of it. Looks quite nice. Next up, we move on to another British warship. Next up, we move on to another aircraft carrier. This is the HMS Argus. Served in the Royal Navy from 1918 to 1944. Once again, was a converted ocean liner. And then during the First World War, was converted to a full-length flight deck that allowed aircraft to take off. It had numerous innovative features for its time, and helped to deploy numerous fighters to battle. It was deployed in China for some time, but then was placed in reserve. It was used later as a training ship to practice aircraft carrier launching, etc. And then actually went to the Mediterranean to help with Malta, and then served up in the North Sea again for some time. Alright, as you can see, Argus, 1919. Great detailing again by the HBG 3D printed piece. Flip it around. Again, excellent decal up top. Got a top view. So this is something I could use for interwar, for early World War II. I doubt it would look out of place. It's around the size, slightly bigger than a standard destroyer. Great weathering on the piece. And then we will get a British fighter for some scale here. British fighter, slightly larger. This could probably be used as an escort carrier in some, like a global war game, as it fits this fighter quite comfortably. I don't know about 2, but certainly fits 1 quite nicely. Alright, next I believe we have one more naval piece to cover. Next up is Germany's first aircraft carrier. I know I'm not going to say this right. The Flug Zig Damper 1, 1918. This vessel was a planned German Imperial Navy project and was meant to carry 23 to 30 aircraft, a mix of fighters, bombers, and some torpedo bombers. It was based off of an Italian passenger ship which was being built in Hamburg and then was converted. It was, however, abandoned after negotiations with the German Navy on new ships at the end of the war. After World War I, high inflation in Germany added to the cost of the ship, and as a result, the Italian shipping company, for which the ship was originally being built for, decided to purchase it and so it was sold to some shipbreakers and then dismantled in 1922. So we got a nice World War I German Imperial Navy Ensign. Still a great regard for detail here. Certainly not as immaculate as some of the other pieces, but still very great, like on the smokestack and on the runway decks. There we go. Another HBG printed piece with the rest of them. I have a fire on hand here for some scale. So again, although it was used in World War I think this could be a great escort carrier, early war carrier, even used in a 1914 game of Axis and Allies. Probably fit a second one here, but I wouldn't recommend it. This is the Germany's first aircraft carrier. It's also comparable in size to the Argus. Around similar size. Next up, we will be moving on to another German military invention. Next up, we have an important piece of not just German, but global military history, the Paris gun. Numerous of these were used by Germany to bombard Paris during 1918 from March to August. Many Parisians actually believed it was a high-altitude Zeppelin and not this little guy right here. This, I believe, was one of the largest pieces of artillery used during World War I, often used on railroad tracks to move it in. And it also was it launched the first man-made objects into the stratosphere. Not just, because of how simply massive the gun was. So again, great paint job here. A lot of detail on the inside. Even the gun barrel. For comparison and scale, we have a German tank. It's around the similar length. This would be a great piece to have in Germany to help bombard some French. This would probably be exclusively used as a special German military device during World War I, unless I could use it as siege artillery for World War II. But fantastic piece of military history. Next we have a tank here, built in 1918, known as the skeleton tank or the spider tank in Minnesota, known for its, as you can see, skeletal design here. Never got past its first prototype, but is a good look at what it could have been here. Top down, very skeletal. Nothing compared to the fully clad German armor, full of iron. Great paint design once again, good weathering. It's just a really cool piece to use either in like a World War I game or interwar game. Definitely compared to some British units, it fits in quite well. Could be used as either an American piece or if there was a second American Civil War scenario, would be right at home. We have another tank here. I believe the proper way to pronounce it, Moto Geschatz, was a tank, either German or Austro-Hungarian. First World War. Did not feature a 360 revolving turret, but it's a pretty cool piece here. Undercarriage is nice. Here. With nice treads. Again, great paint job. The green looks really nice. Definitely a smaller piece, but especially on the eastern front, it can get quite a lot of troops over there. Really neat piece to have around. Great smooth design, beautiful 3D printed piece. Up here is a Russian vehicle named the Mendeley of Tank. It was a design by Vasily Mendeleev, the son of Dmitry Mendeleev, the creator of the periodic table. It would have been a very, very large tank, more similar to a land ship almost, or a heavy artillery unit. It would have been just as heavy as a Maus super heavy tank by the Germans in World War II, but this is a World War I design. Quite a large. Treads look phenomenal on this one. Again, the siding as well. Really cool kind of prototype idea here. Just to show off, it's significantly taller and larger than this German tank here. I definitely could see this right at home with the Soviet or Russian army. Probably not Soviet, Soviet, I guess, interwar. Definitely not Soviet World War II, but very, very interesting tank to have around. Next up here, going back to Britain, we have what I believe to be Mark I mail tank. The British Ensign. Say World War II tank for comparison. This is definitely a World War I variant. It would later be outclassed. This is the male version of the Mark I. Treads on a lot of these World War I tanks are very nice, and the wheels even have some good weathering. Quite a large tank for sure. Sizing up this guy right here. But spot on detail with these. I can't stress enough how great the paint job is. And we will now move on to another British tank. We have another British tank. I don't remember the model number on this one. But again, very cool. Cool tank. A lot of similar size. You both got the extra wheel on the back. Nice piece of World War I tech. Nice smooth bottom. Every little groove's got some nice paint. There. And I believe the last of the pieces should be this. I believe this is a British troop carrier used in World War I. Again, I may be wrong on these last two, but certainly is not a made-for-combat tank. I know that. Great. I love the siding here. In addition, the treads always look fantastic. But really nice job on these three British designs, all from World War I. up in the pieces here is a German tank. I believe this to be of interwar. This is probably one of my favorite. I like the carriers a lot in the ships, but this is a very nice, very well detailed tank. This could be a Panzer I, maybe? Or something during World War I, but definitely an interwar piece for sure. I mean, just the top of the piece looks fantastic. There, yeah, that's a good shot of it. Looks great, would easily fit in with a World War I German army here. The turret shape, really, really nice. Alright, here is the complete collection of what the Plastic Commando sent me. All beautiful pieces, all can be found on Historical Board Gaming. Buy a lot of nice things from there. All 12 looking fabulous together. And we look at home on any Axis and Allies game board. Just to kind of get a nice shot here. Boom. Yeah, that looks really good, really beautiful. Having all of these exceptional painted pieces that the Plastic Commando did up. Favorites out of the bunch would probably have to be the Sparviero and the Paris Siege Gun, both wonderful large pieces, but look quite wonderful along a board set. And then just one last top-down view of them. Yeah, you can really see the detail up top. Well, this is all from me, Axis and Alloys. Thank you all so much for watching. I look forward to seeing the Attic Nerd and his Russian turn. This is Axis and Alloys, signing off.